Well, SmackDown continues to be SmackDown. And if there is a way to book the dumbest outcome possible to get to wherever you want to get to, SmackDown somehow continues to just not only step over that line, but leap over that line. So let's talk about SmackDown from June the 19th of the year of our TKO. And John, this one and just kind of follows the SmackDown mold at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't as terrible as some of the SmackDowns lately,
It's a
but
high bar
it's
or a
really
low
not.
bar.
That's what I was going to say. That's not a high bar at all. Um, the biggest problem for me, obviously, is it's like if you had to pick an easy story to tell, it's like WWE just picks anything but that. And it goes for like the dumbest decisions they can. I don't know who it is in the writers' room that they're paying to pick these main ideas, but whoever it is, they need to go to AEW.
Or they just need to fire ChatGPT because that feels like it's telling me where it's coming from. But
So you can't
I
do that because then Skynet will kill us all.
I digress. I don't know. So the show opened up with the match between Cody Rhodes and Gunther for the WWE Undisputed Championship, which Sami Zayn was the special guest referee. The match immediately went off fine. Sami kind of got himself, in Gunther's face and in Cody's face a little bit. Gunther, definitely choked out Cody a few times, and Cody got his hand on the rope, and Gunther wouldn't break the hold, so Sami kind of forcibly removed him from there. Similarly, Cody got Gunther in the corner and was hitting him pretty hard. Again, Sami kind of like pushed Cody away and kind of got in his face. The match kind of like developed into chaos a little bit, and when Sami again got up on Gunther's business, and Gunther finally had enough, and smacked him around, hit him with the power bomb, which sent him out of the ring. And Gunther obviously called for another referee, got Cody up, hit him with the power slam, and was going to count it with the new referee, but Sami pulled the other referee out. Gunther obviously like lost his mind after that happened. Cody was able to eventually get the roll up after Sami Haluva kicked Gunther's arms, and Sami then did a fast count to get the 1, 2, 3. This obviously left everybody irate, to which the match eventually was restarted again and just ended up falling kind of out of a DQ when Sami got himself involved again. So the whole thing was kind of chaos and was just really more or less a really idiotic way, in my opinion, to get us to a triple threat at Night of Champions. I
Yep.
feel like there was a much easier way to do this. Instead of having Sami do the fast count, you just have Sami get power bombed by Gunther, rolls out for a little while. The two of them keep going. Cody gets the visual win or whatever. Sami eventually just comes back in. All he has to do is hit Gunther with the Haluva kick as a receipt for power bombing him, allowing Cody to get the win. It's all you need to do. It's a very simple thing with which to book, but for some reason WWE just decided to do this the stupidest way possible.
One word, 4 letters, and that's stupid. Wait, that's 5 letters. But back to my point.
6 letters.
Is it STU? It is. I can't count. So my point being, honestly, this whole thing was asinine. I mean, the match itself, while the match was going on, was fine, but the second that Gunther laid hands on Sami as the ref, the match should have just been over there and just called for the DQ. You know what I mean? Any other match, that match is over. Like, even if you call a second ref down, that match gets thrown out. You know what I mean? So
there's liberties when a wrestler plays the
right.
referee. So
but when you straight up when you straight up powerbomb the dude, like, for calling the match fair, because I will say, Sami was, up until that point, calling the match completely fair. They had him doing a good job with that. He saw Gunther's foot under the rope so that there was no screw up there. He was doing everything he should have. And it just, like you said, there's a much easier way for them to have gotten to this triple threat. I mean, I've been saying it for, I think, a couple months now that it was going to end up as a three-way between these guys at Night of Champions. And I just feel like they overcomplicated it for no reason. And then everybody getting on Sammy's case about it. Like, Sammy did everything for once. The whole everybody hating on Sammy thing doesn't make sense because everything Sami Zayn did was either correct or justified.
Yeah. So where do we go from here with this? Like, who wins this? Cody just retains, right? Because Sammy, like, Cody's gonna pin
Sammy
here, right?
Sammy takes the pin. Sammy is in this match.
Or does Gunther pin Sammy and Gunther gets the win?
No, because I think that Sammy takes the pin from Cody, and I think we get that leaving a opening for a new challenger for SummerSlam, and that's when we get a returning opening refrain of Cult of Personality. At least that's if I'm booking it, that's how I'm booking it.
Let's save that because we need to talk about the
Yes.
King of the Ring tournament, which I think is going to put a bit of a monkey wrench into that plan.
Oh no.
But, we also had this show actually had some good stuff on it, other than this idiocy surrounding the World Heavyweight Championship, the Undisputed Championship. So we had Damian Priest and R-Truth defeat Tama Tonga and Tama Tonga via pinfall to retain the WWE Tag Team Championships after Solo found himself getting involved, even though backstage they told him not to get involved. And he still kind of caused a screw up, kind of furthering the divide there. He did have a backstage kind of confrontation with Jacob Fatu where they kind of came to words a little bit about Roman getting himself involved in Solo's business. Solo saying that he's going to make his way over to Raw and get involved in Roman's business if he doesn't knock it off, more or less. But again, kind of furthering the divide here. And, I didn't think that Truth and Priest were going to lose the titles here. And we did see also watching this match on the Tron was the Viking War Raiders Express experience as well. So
don't forget they're out of Mexico now, so we have to add Luchador to the end of that.
There you go.
No, I did not expect Truth and Priest to lose here. I think that we're going to see Solo and his Bloodline story cause the final breakup of the MFTs. And I don't know if you see them do something with Finn Balor or if we see Tama finally get like a push and maybe Tala be just Tama's goon, something along those lines. But I did also hear people talking about that they wouldn't be surprised if this was the last we saw of Tama and Tama Tonga. Because apparently after they were done and they were heading up the ramp, Tama Tonga was apparently visually pissed off, spitting on the ramp, which is a pretty big thing. So I'm curious to see how true any of that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. But I mean, none of these guys have had like a very good run within WWE other than Solo. So.
I wanted Tama's solo run. I was looking forward to that. The guy's a fantastic wrestler. He's got a hell of personality, and they were seemingly setting that up, and then all of a sudden it's gone with everybody else being let go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that group got too big too quick, and then they didn't really find anything to do with it, unfortunately, because you had 5 members in there. You had a never-ending feud with the Wyatts, and then all the Wyatts got released, and then you're like, well, now what do we do? Right? Like, a 5-person group can't really work all of the time if it's 5 people of one gender, I think. Because and I say that because the Judgment Day kind of works, right? And the Vision works sort of because, they've got gold.
Yep.
But also they've got somebody who's at the top of the card. So it helps when you have a person in your group who is at the top of the card.
It helps too that the Vision is never actually at full strength because someone's always hurt. So they're never as big of a group as it seems like they are because someone's always out injured.
Right, but even like Seth Rollins' new unit, right? Like it has Seth Rollins in it,
Yeah.
And the Bloodline has Roman Reigns in it, So if you put the group together right, it works. But just having five dudes who just don't wrestle all the time, and that's kind of another reason why the Wyatts didn't really work as well, because half of them didn't wrestle all the time. So
I think that actually is part of what hurt the MFTs too, was being stuck in such a long feud with the Wyatts that really amounted to jack shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that, other than them taking the titles off of the Wyatts, because it was them that took the titles off the Wyatts, right?
maybe.
I think. Or regardless, it led to the titles coming off the Wyatts. I think that was about the only thing of note out of that feud.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where they go with it. It would be a shame if Tama Tonga got let go. I could care less about Tonga. I mean, he'll find a job somewhere else. He's not really being utilized at all. So, he'll
Where
else.
where do Priest and Truth go from here? Is it the Viking Raiders experience at
Probably.
Luchador?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so, probably.
Does that feel like a SummerSlam match to you?
No, that feels like a SmackDown before SummerSlam match to me.
Okay. Even with it being 2 nights of SummerSlam?
The tag team titles just don't matter.
Which is sad. Think about how a year and a half ago it was the best thing going on SmackDown.
Yeah. Now
Where the hell is our Fraxium?
Yeah.
Like, where are any of these tag teams?
Yeah, completely pointless. The tag team titles need to be, I think, made into one set of tag team titles and then defended across both brands.
At this point, I completely agree. I think a unification of the tag titles is what the best thing that they could do with them, considering how with how bad they gutted the tag team division. Like, I mean, it works for the women's belts. Just do the same thing for the men's.
Yeah,
because they have what
you don't have enough tag teams on both shows to warrant having 2 sets of titles.
Right. They have what, like 7 or 8 established tag teams
total. Yeah. Not enough.
So I think that I could 100% get behind a unification. Like, it was one thing when there were 8 or 9 tag teams on each show alone, but we haven't seen that in several years now.
Yeah. Next, we had Ricky Saints defeat Carmelo Hayes via some cheating to become the #1 contender for the U.S. Championship at Night of Champions. I thought this was going to be a triple threat, but I'm actually kind of glad that it's just going to be Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams one-on-one. And I don't really know where we go with that. I mean, does Trick just win?
I think that if Carmelo doesn't find a way into the match, he still somehow gets involved in it, maybe costing Saints. Something along those lines, because I feel like their feud isn't done. But that kind of makes Trick Williams like the bridesmaid to that whole thing, when he should actually probably be the focus of this program. I think that the problem you have, though, with Ricky Saints and Trick Williams is both of them are heels. So it's going to make for a little bit of a weird story to tell if you don't involve Carmelo somehow.
Yeah, you're probably right. Melo probably does find his way into this match. But if you're going to do 2 triple threats at Night of Champions, that's a little interesting too. So I don't know.
Oh, true. That's a valid point. Maybe we get Melo costing Saints, and then we get a triple threat at either the Saturday Night's Main Event or SummerSlam.
Yeah, I could see them doing that.
They can extend the feud out a little bit longer.
I think this belt is going to end up on Ricky Saints for a little while.
Yeah.
But I don't know how soon and when.
Was Trick wasn't even on this show, was he?
No.
There were a couple noticeable people. He wasn't on it. Royce Keys wasn't on it.
Yeah.
Rhea, which I think that's
Rhea has an injury.
How bad do we think that is?
Well, I don't know.
I'm wondering.
How would I know that?
No, I'm wondering. It's leading into my point here. I'm wondering if they're going to have her vacate the title.
No, they would have did that already.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, they would have done that already.
Because I heard some interesting things, which I'll bring up once we talk about the Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, if we get through Night of Champions, and she's still the champion and she hasn't vacated the title, like the SmackDown after that, then it's not that serious because otherwise they would have her, to your point, they'd have her do that. But they're not just going to let her sit and not vacate the title.
Because, I mean, she doesn't have to wrestle at Night of Champions.
She's not going to wrestle at Night of
No,
Champions.
but that's my point. So she gets that off. So, I mean, they probably wouldn't need to have her wrestle at Saturday night's main event.
No, she'll wrestle again at SummerSlam.
Which is basically, what, a month and a half? So that gives her, even if she is injured, as long as her injury is something that can be resolved in that amount of time, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So, speaking of Night of Champions, let's talk about the King and Queen of the Ring. So, to no one's surprise, Jey Uso defeated Javon Evans clean. And this is probably the weakest match on the show. I mean, Javon never really got a chance to get going here. And even furthermore, he never had a chance to begin with here at all. And everybody knew Jey Uso was going to win this. And, afterwards we did see Jey and Cody kind of like, come together a little bit. And then similarly, Sami and Jey kind of came together a little bit, just exchanged some words. But, Jey kind of made it seem like he's looking past Oba like entirely, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It does lead me to believe that I feel like Jey's going to win this whole thing. I really do think that Jey's going to win this whole thing.
So first of all, I think that having Jey go over Javon is stupid. I mean, whoever wins, no matter who they go against, which I have a feeling that it's going to be Roman. It would have been interesting to see some new blood up on the top, especially because Jey Uso is just such a terrible wrestler. Like, I've never seen anybody look like they were getting better like he was, and then immediately then regress to worse than he was originally.
Jey's not going to go up against Roman if he wins.
So I think he is. I think that he is going to face Roman because of what's going on with Jacob and the fact that Roman seems to be giving Jacob more leniency and Jey's all pissed off about that. I think we're going to see Jey versus Roman at SummerSlam. And unless the only other thing maybe, I'm very curious to see if they trust Oba to do double duty. Because I was talking about it with Joe, my wrestler buddy, and he made a good point that you want to keep establishing Oba, have Oba do double duty, have him face Brock on night one.
Didn't I say that?
I don't remember.
I was talking. You weren't on the one. I was going to say, I was talking to Reese about that. I said the same thing. Yeah, I think that the best way to do this is to have Oba do double duty. You have Oba beat Brock night one, and then you have Oba lose to Roman night two.
Right, because they can then use he was doing double duty and
he could take out everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like he could take out both Usos and he could take out Jacob. And then you could spin that into a feud with Jacob for a little while.
Before he comes back to the title.
And then he feuds with Jacob into the fall, and then he wins the Royal Rumble, and then he challenges Roman at Mania next year and beats him.
I 100% could get behind that. And honestly, I would much rather see something along those lines than Jey Uso winning the King of the Ring tournament. I think that for the life of me, I do not understand WWE's incessant need to try to make Jey Uso the face of modern WWE. Like, I read some interesting articles recently about how they supposedly trust him more than LA Knight, which seems like the dumbest thing in the world to me. When you have a guy in LA Knight who is over with the fans, you have a guy with Javon Evans who is over with the fans. Like, you have all these people, and you're going to continue to push the guy who has the catchphrase and because he sells shirts. Like, for your biggest event coming up. Nobody wants to see that.
I've said it 100 times. I don't know who out there wants to see Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes, but if you're out there, I'd love to hear from you. So put that down in the comments below. If you are somebody who wants to see Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes, I'm not knocking on you. I just want to know why. I want to know why that works for you, and I want to know why that's a good idea, because I don't think it's a good idea, but to some people it might be. To some people, they might not be ready. Some people might not like Oba. Some people might just be the casual fan who just knows who Jey Uso is, and they might just want to see him. And some people might also be like, I don't know if I want to see Oba versus Roman, or I don't even know if I want to see Cody as champion anymore, you know? So, and maybe if Gunther wins, what if Gunther does win? And then we do Jey versus Gunther.
Or if Sami wins. But
Jey versus Sami.
I have an additional question for yours is if in addition to Jey versus Roman, if anybody out or Jey versus Cody, if anybody out there thinks that Jey versus Roman, if anyone would even want to see that either, because that's your other option. You know what I mean? He's not locked into one choice right away. And
Right.
we've already seen that. So I don't know if anyone out there even really gives a damn about Jey Uso in 2026.
Right.
But you're right. He could end up facing somebody besides Cody. But then I think that's why the other reason why I think he's going to go after Roman is because I think it allows you to get that marquee match of Punk versus Cody, especially with Punk coming to SmackDown. I'm
Punk
early
needs to show up like immediately after this show, though, because if he doesn't, then that's not enough time to build that match.
Oh, I bet he shows up Friday, the Friday after Night of Champions.
He needs to, because if he doesn't, that's not enough time to build that match. 4 weeks is not enough time to build Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk.
Right. I think though that he shows up the following Friday, and I think you see him play the more heelish role out of the two of them because they never seem like they're going to pull the trigger on Cody actually being a heel, and Punk can do that kind of thing.
Or you could just do a face versus face match.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think Punk isn't going to get booed. So
yeah,
you know, they tend to book people against Cody who just don't get booed. You know, so
which hurts. It hurts Cody.
Yeah, so it's fine. I mean, at least Gunther got booed and Sami got booed. So Cody will get cheered. You know, in that one because nobody likes Sami right now. But
right, except me.
Which takes us to the Queen of the Ring, and which saw Liv Morgan defeat Charlotte Flair after Charlotte Flair was ambushed backstage by the Jade Brigade. And we kind of called this one as well. I thought it was going to go in the opposite direction. I thought that Stephanie was going to cost Liv here, and then we were going to get Charlotte versus Io, and then Jade was going to cost her. But I think it's a bigger surprise, I think, to have Stephanie cost Liv at Night of Champions. Liv's not going to win the whole thing, obviously. They're not going to turn Liv into a double champion. So it's a pretty slam dunk, I think, that Io is going to win. It's just a question of, does Io beat her clean, or does Stephanie come out and cost her here? And obviously, the Charlotte thing had to happen because Charlotte versus Jade is pretty much locked in for SummerSlam.
Yep, because they're doing Jade versus Tiffany at Night of Champions, right?
Maybe.
I think they put that challenge out there.
I mean, that's a shame because it goes against my thing that I said earlier, where we could actually get a women's match that doesn't have a title involved.
Yeah,
because if that's the case, Jade's going to win the U.S. title. And
you think so?
Yes, because WWE can't tell a story without a title involved.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
It can't. Like, how many times? We talked about it the other day. We've had one PLE in the last 16 months that has had a women's non-title match in it. One.
When was that?
Jade versus Naomi at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
The only time a non-title women's match occurred. You get one with the men at pretty much every PLE.
Yeah. I never even looked at it like that. That sucks.
They can't tell a story for the women if the title is not involved. So it's an absolute shame.
Here's a theoretical for you. What if Liv wins?
Why would you do that? Book that for me.
That's what's going to be my question. If you're WWE and you're the boneheaded writers' room and you have Liv win, what do you have her do? Do you have her be, oh, well, I'm the Queen of the Ring. I did this. I did this so that I could prove I'm the best and nobody could compete against me at SummerSlam. And you have her just run like with that and act like she's better than everybody until someone is like, you know what? this can't happen. We need to do something. Or do you have a champ versus champ match?
So I'll tell you
Just a question.
A very simple answer to this question. Liv is not going to win. Do you want to know why Liv is not going to win?
Go ahead.
Because she won last year.
Was she the Queen of the Ring last year?
Yep. Her and Seth.
Huh. I forgot that. Yeah, you're right then. She's not going to win.
You go.
Yeah, I completely forgot that.
There's your answer right there.
Yeah.
She's not going to win back to back.
Yeah, that's a perfect answer. I 100% forgot that she had won last year.
Yep, her and Seth won last year.
So no, that is your easy answer to that problem right there.
I would bet my house that Io's going to win that match.
Then that leaves Io winning. Do you have Io? Do we get Io versus Rhea and Rhea finally gets her win, or do we get Io versus Liv? Which one makes more sense?
You're doing Io versus Liv, so
right, but for the title,
Io versus Rhea makes more sense with their history and everything. Io versus Rhea makes more sense. I'm telling you, you're going to see Stephanie Becker either Monday at the PLE or the Monday after. 1,000%, you're going to see her.
Yeah, she's been out for a couple months now, right?
Yeah, she's been ready to come back. So, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, did you want to? Oh yeah, your buddy, your buddy had a backstage segment too. Did you want to talk about that?
Oh, Danhausen with his golems of the Miz and Kit Wilson. So, first of all, you had the Los Garzas come in and try to bully him, only for Matt Cardona, to come to his rescue. And did you notice that not only was he referring to him as Zack Ryder, but then both Kit Wilson and Miz doing their catchphrases, with Miz doing all the old ones. When Zack Ryder got zapped, or when Cardona got zapped, he did his Zack Ryder catchphrase. I think this is all looping back to like some stupid like timing thing, and it's going to bring back the old Baron Corbin like we talked about.
The loneliest of wolves.
Yes, and like some like where he just brings back like a retro version of somebody, and I think. Because look at the way that like Miz has been doing all of his old catchphrases and everything. I thought about it when Cardona got zapped and did his woo you know it thing. That was his thing when he was Zack Ryder. So I have a feeling that that's what we're gonna get, and we're gonna get not Happy Corbin, but as you mentioned, the loneliest of wolves, the company man Baron Corbin.
Ay. So, so that was SmackDown in a nutshell. So, what is your final rating for the show? And do you have anything else you want to add?
There weren't any other major backstage segments, right? I don't think. Just stuff that was directly involved. I think Danhausen
was directly involved that we already discussed. So,
I do think it was weird that we didn't see Royce Keys, with the way they've been showcasing him. And same with Finn Balor, that he wasn't there, with him being such a big thing coming over to SmackDown. Mm-hmm. But I'll give it a C. I don't think it's as bad as low as that bar is as some of the previous SmackDowns. But the questionable booking for me is just so, not just all over the place, but it just makes no sense. And I really wish that I could get inside the head of whoever thinks Jey Uso is the answer, because whatever Chiba they're smoking must be the good stuff. So,
yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm just SmackDown every time just seems like it's all over the place, and like I don't even know like where to go with it half the time. So I kind of just I stayed up watching it a little bit later than I normally do because they opened with the WWE title match. But I pretty much was like checked out after that, and I ended up watching the rest of it in the morning.
That was interesting too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to get people like me to actually stay watching, right? Because I feel like so many people just shut it off because it's so bad. And the whole pacing of the show was weird too. Like the main event was the Liv Morgan Charlotte Flair injury angle match, which was kind of weird. The main event should have been Jey versus Javon, and you should have given that more time. If that's what you were going to do with Liv and Charlotte, that should not have been the main event. And again, like SmackDown just seems to like continue to have a pacing problem. So I think with that, my final rating for the show is a never-ending Bloodline story out of 5. So that is our show, guys. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Was Sami justified? Who leaves Night of Champions as the WWE Champion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please like the video, subscribe for all of our WWE reviews, videos, predictions, NFL content, and much, much more. With that, I have been Mike, joined by Mr. Last Real Good Guy. Have yourselves a fantastic day and take care.